So you think you dominate Tank?
I think I dominate any of them. If you really look at it, if you gotta really tap in on this. Look at the resume, all that extra, whatever. There's a certain limit that you hit, right? But then there's that next criteria or that next top tier. And if you don't match that, you never gonna know how great you really are. And I've done that a few amount of times already. I jumped out that box and done that. So I have yet to see Gervonta come out of that box yet. You know what I'm saying? They're about to put him with a guy at 130 pounds. Whether he's a champion or not, you're getting a guy lighter than you to come up and weight to make you look good again.
Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach have come face-to-face in an intense battle of nerves and strength. The online feud between Tank and Roach is escalating with every passing day. Just a week ago, the two clashed on AX, where Roach attempted to taunt the WBA lightweight champion, suggesting Davis should spar with heavier fighters to gain an advantage for their December showdown. Roach was swiftly met with a sharp response from Tank, who made it clear that his real message would be delivered in the ring. For about a week, things stayed calm until Lamont Roach tried stirring the pot again, taking a playful jab at Davis ahead of the NFL showdown between the Baltimore Ravens and Washington Commanders. However, his attempt to needle the WBA super featherweight champion backfired, leaving Roach on the losing end once more. The clash ignited when Roach replied to a Ravens fan poking fun at the Washington Commanders. In the midst of the exchange, the fan took it a step further by dragging Gervonta Davis's bout with Lamont Roach into the conversation to strengthen his argument. The tweet read, "We whipping DC ass for the rest of the year. Ravens today, Tank in December," adding that Roach will be losing to Davis come December. Being from Washington, D.C., Roach did not take the comment kindly and shot back, "This shit different over here." As expected, Tank saw the response and decided to jump right in. The WBA lightweight champion retorted, "Yeah, you asking for it?" WBA super featherweight champion Lamont Roach Jr. was left speechless, only managing to respond with an emoji. But the blows didn't stop there. Roach's Washington Commanders were handed a tough loss by the Baltimore Ravens, who secured a 30-23 victory in their Week 6 showdown on Sunday. The Ravens, riding a 4-game winning streak, dominated with a dynamic offense. Lamar Jackson delivered key plays, while Derrick Henry stole the spotlight, rushing for 132 yards and scoring twice. Baltimore controlled the clock, holding possession for over 30 minutes and significantly outgaining Washington. With this win, the Ravens cemented themselves as a formidable AFC threat alongside Kansas City. When the Davis versus Roach bout was first announced last month, fan reactions were lukewarm. However, after their heated online exchanges, excitement for the fight has been steadily building. The rivalry between them is intensifying. With a strong undercard lineup, this clash could turn out to be more thrilling than expected, especially as Roach vows to push Davis to his limits. On December 14th at Houston's Toyota Center, Tank and Roach will square off for the WBA lightweight title in a fight that's stirring mixed reactions. Lamont Roach, who retains his featherweight belt, received approval from the WBA to step up to the lightweight division for this bout. However, fan enthusiasm is lukewarm, with many anticipating a routine win for the undefeated 30-0 Tank. Yet, the undercard has sparked considerable buzz, boasting the highly anticipated comeback of a two-weight world champion and featuring a showdown that's already being labeled as a potential fight of the year. Former WBC middleweight champion Jermell Charlo is set to make his comeback on the undercard, potentially squaring off against Thomas Lamana as he looks to reignite his career. However, all eyes will likely be on the highly anticipated rematch between Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa. Additionally, reports suggest that David Benavidez will clash with Jesse Hart in a co-main event showdown on the same card. Although the main event initially garnered little fanfare, the online feud has shifted the narrative in its favor. For Roach, this showdown marks the pinnacle of his career, and he's vowed to deliver his most exceptional performance yet. Only a week after the WBA greenlit the lightweight title clash between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., tensions have already flared between the fighters, with a heated online exchange adding fuel to the fire. The bout is set for December 14th, with Roach receiving special permission from the WBA to step up to lightweight for a shot at the crown. Once again, this matchup underscores the star power of Davis, who continues to have the luxury of selecting his opponents. Fans were left disappointed by the announcement, as Roach remains relatively untested against elite fighters like Tank. Adding to the skepticism, Roach is moving up from a lighter weight division, putting him at a potential disadvantage. Even though he's the WBA super featherweight champion, excitement for the bout is lacking. However, the two boxers tried to stir up interest by engaging in a heated exchange on X, where Roach attempted to troll the WBA lightweight champion, only to be met with a sharp and impressive comeback. The exchange ignited when heavyweight boxer Marcellus Williams inquired about the sparring fees to train with the champion. Eager to hone his skills, Williams was fully committed to making it happen. However, Lamont Roach Jr. wasted no time in replying to the tweet, quipping, "He gonna need to spar you, bro, no funny." Curious about the remark, Davis pressed for clarification, prompting Roach to share a fan's explanation of the tweet. Roach quoted a fan reply who wrote, "Translation, you need to spar someone heavy cause he coming with it," explaining the meaning behind Roach's tweet. The Reaper suggests that the undefeated 30-0 boxer should engage in sparring sessions with heavier opponents ahead of their December match. While Davis may be eyeing a straightforward victory, Roach sees this as a prime opportunity to elevate his profile and boost his marketability. Tank did not let the disrespect go idly as he responded and wrote, "I advise you not to talk so much. It can be bad for you. You know that already though," stating that Roach should do the talking inside the ring and not online. He also cautioned Roach about what would happen if he infuriated the WBA lightweight champion. The verbal sparring intensified rapidly when Roach fired back, asserting that he was unlike any of the fighters Davis had faced in the past. Throughout his career, Tank has often been criticized for selectively choosing his opponents. Roach wrote, "You must think I'm one of them regular names. You fought or some LOL cut it out measy," making sure that the Baltimore native knows it won't be like his previous fights. Despite coming from a lower weight class, he is desperate for this battle and will stop at nothing to surprise everyone. Gervonta Davis chose to let his actions speak louder than words, signaling his intent to settle matters in the ring. He echoed a tweet from Reaper, simply stating, "Say nothing," a bold declaration of his confidence over the WBA super featherweight champion. The buzz surrounding this online feud has generated significant excitement for the upcoming bout. Although the specifics of the match are still being hammered out, the Ring TV reports that the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. is a strong contender to host the event. However, Houston, Texas is also under consideration as a potential location. The fighters will compete at 135 pounds, with the WBA lightweight title at stake. This marks Roach's most significant fight to date, and without a title on the line, he has the opportunity to showcase his skills without the weight of pressure. Davis initially sought bouts with Vasily Lomachenko and expressed interest in Shakur Stevenson. However, with those plans falling through, he is now in the process of finalizing a matchup with junior lightweight champion Lamont Roach. Davis from Baltimore announced today that the upcoming contest is set to unfold in Houston, with December identified as the month of the event. Reports indicate that December 14th is being targeted for his pay-per-view title defense of the WBA Lightweight Championship. At 29 years old, Roach boasts a professional record of 25 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, with 10 of those victories coming by knockout. He recently made headlines with an impressive 8th-round TKO victory over Fergal McCrory on June 28th, featured in a Pro Box TV main event held in his hometown of Washington, D.C. Roach secured his championship title with a hard-fought split decision win against Hector Luis Garcia in November 2023. During a lengthy conversation regarding the imminent showdown between Davis and Roach, Paulie Malignaggi of Pro Box TV remarked on Tuesday that this bout serves as a significant opportunity for Roach. It could help him enhance his profile while navigating a challenging route to success against the formidable knockout specialist Davis, who boasts an impressive record of 30 wins with 28 by knockout. Malignaggi, a former welterweight champion, said, "Roach has been a solid fighter, but he hasn't been at the level of notoriety to be in a fight like this. I don't think this is a fight that should go on pay-per-view. If Roach had been a bona fide champion who's made 5-6 title defenses. Instead," Malignaggi said, "the bout represents a cement your brand kind of thing. Keep Davis winning so he can look like a winner. But people want to see more. It's not entirely fair to place the blame on Davis." The 29-year-old showed eagerness to step into the ring against the seasoned 3-division champion Lomachenko, only to learn that the Ukrainian fighter had opted to prioritize family time amid the turmoil his war-torn nation faces in its ongoing conflict with Russia this year. WBC lightweight champion Stevenson decided to tune out the social media noise surrounding Davis and instead set his sights on fights in Saudi Arabia. He eventually signed with promoter Eddie Hearn, but an injury forced him to cancel his anticipated return on October 12th. In a puzzling decision, Pro Box TV's Chris Algieri criticized Davis for moving a DC area fight to Texas and opting for a pay-per-view format. He noted that Davis overlooked the chance to face a more seasoned lightweight contender, instead choosing the newly crowned champion and Roach. The lineup of elite 135-pound fighters features the highly regarded William Zepeda and WBA numbers 2 Floyd Schofield, both representing Golden Boy Promotions. Additionally, top 3 contenders Keyshawn Davis and Raymond Muratalla, who are signed with Top Rank, joined WBO champion Dennis Berincic, who has yet to confirm his inaugural title defense. As of now, Zepeda and Davis are set to compete on different cards this November. The fight itself is a hard pill to swallow, Algieri said on Tuesday's edition of Pro Box TV's Top Stories. Malina G elaborated, "When you look at the lightweight division from a boxing perspective, why pull up a guy from other weight classes when there are fresh, young lightweights and lots of viable fights for Davis?" Malinaji praises Roach as a crafty little veteran. "It's a springboard for Pro Box. Roach has showed a solid chin. If he can bring those skill sets, he can be a problem." Algieri said if Roach can stack up early rounds on the scorecards, because Davis usually starts slow and puts all his eggs in the basket that he'll score a knockout, Roach could out-hustle, out-finesse Davis, and survive late. Yes, it's possible we can see an upset. That moved Malinaji. He asked, "If Roach wins, it'd be the upset of the year. Is that what we want on pay-per-view? This is not a trash fight. Lamont is smaller and lacks the firepower of Gervonta Davis." Algieri, too, expects Davis to wear down Roach because his physical and mental pressure will be too stressful for the junior lightweight fighter. Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis expressed his disdain for his working-class supporters by firing back at a critic of his career on social media, branding him a loser for having a boss who dictates his actions. Tank sidesteps the criticism instead of facing it, evading a harsh reality. He squandered the prime years of his career battling mediocre opponents, limiting his earning potential. While he wishes to project an image of a fighter who isn't coddled, the truth is glaringly obvious to all. There's no escaping it. Critics highlight the facts, and Tank finds himself unable to directly acknowledge that he has been safeguarded by his management since the very beginning. A social media user casually remarked to the undefeated WBA lightweight champion Tank that he would soon be turning 30, and that his accomplishments resembled those of a novice. Leonardius Maximus IV tweeted, "Gervonta Tank Davis will turn 30 in about 2 weeks, and the MF has the resume of a child." Instead of taking the comment to heart and considering how he might improve, Tank chose to respond with a sharp insult. Tank's decision to mock his resume critic reveals a deeper insecurity regarding his career, highlighting his awareness of the shaky foundation upon which his impressive 30-0 record stands. Instead of resorting to derision, Tank would have been wiser to acknowledge the critique and articulate the reasons behind the lack of formidable opponents he faced throughout his 11-year journey in boxing. Tank's reaction to criticism reveals a certain immaturity. Rather than accepting the feedback, he resorts to a juvenile outburst. This response indicates his struggle to confront the reality of the situation, showcasing his emotional inability to process the remarks constructively without resorting to aggression. Gervonta Davis said, "Now let's talk about how you finish school and all that for you to work for someone. And now they dictate when you wake up and go to sleep. LOL. I'll pick my life over your life any day. Loser." On the other hand, Jermell Charlo's connection to boxing has taken some unexpected turns in recent months. After a lengthy 29-month hiatus, he made a dramatic comeback in November 2023, decisively beating Jose Benavidez Jr. by unanimous decision. However, his triumph has been overshadowed by discussions of retirement and a troubling incident involving drinking and driving that has thrown him into a legal quagmire.
Because at a point in my life, I didn't know what mental health even was. And a lot of people kind of shy away from showing that sensitive side of themselves. But yeah, because I'm the champ, they all look at me as like, they're expecting greatness. And sometimes I don't have the greatness to provide, and then I'm not mentally focused. Oh, yeah. So now that I'm mentally focused and I feel like I'm a better person, I evolved into like something that y'all probably would have never known.
Fans had high hopes for a lengthy streak of the Hitman in the ring, but he took yet another significant hiatus. Since 2020, Charlo has stepped into the ring just 3 times, and in his most recent bout, he appeared out of sync and far from his peak form. However, the Texas native is gearing up for a triumphant return to the fiercely competitive super middleweight division, set to make waves by the year's end on an electrifying card. Return, suggesting he might appear on the undercard of the Gervonta Davis vs. Lamont Roach fight, set for December 14th at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. This would be an ideal chance for him to make his comeback in his hometown. However, Premier Boxing Champions has yet to issue any official confirmation regarding Charlo's participation in the event. The 34-year-old boxer recently stepped into the ring for his final match, which took place at a catch weight of 163 pounds, with his middleweight title not at stake. Since then, speculation has been swirling about his potential move to super middleweight. This transition could open doors to lucrative bouts against notable fighters such as Caleb Plant, Jaime Munguia, and Edgar Berlanga. A victory over any of these challengers could reignite his career and possibly set him up for a coveted showdown with Canelo Alvarez. Charlo has long been in pursuit of Alvarez. Interestingly, the unified super middleweight champion squared off against Charlo's twin brother, Jermell Charlo, back in 2022. Despite a year away from the ring, the hitman is seeking a straightforward payday for his comeback before taking on more formidable challengers down the line. A bout against Plant could be on the horizon soon, especially after the Slapgate controversy that has fans eager for the matchup. However, there's currently no official word on his return opponent. If the rumors hold true, the undercard featuring Tank and Roach is shaping up to be quite impressive. In preparation for his bout against Tank on December 14th in Texas, Roach will step up to the lightweight division. While Davis was initially poised to defend his WBA lightweight title against Edwin de Los Santos, PBC and Davis ultimately opted for the matchup with the super featherweight champion instead. This decision left some fans feeling let down, but the clash between Roach and Davis promises to deliver an exciting spectacle. Although the complete undercard hasn't been unveiled, reports indicate that WBC light heavyweight champion David Benavidez is set to defend his title against Jesse Hart. This bout has captured the attention of fans, and if the rumors about Charlo's comeback hold true, this pay-per-view event is looking like it will be truly spectacular. Meanwhile, Lamont Roach Jr. confidently asserts that he offers a greater array of skills and attributes than Frank Martin, the undefeated lightweight contender who suffered a spectacular knockout at the hands of Gervonta Tank Davis last June. Respectfully, I'm not Frank Martin. Frank Martin started boxing when he was, 15? Roach said in an interview with Najee Grampus of Cigar Talk. He said, Frank Martin don't got the experience that he needed. As everybody could see, it's not like that I'm just talking shit or nothing like that. He didn't have the experience to be in there with someone as skilled or as experienced as Tank. I got the same skill level as Tank. I got the same experience as Tank. I got the reflexes. I got the ability. I damn sure got the IQ. Question is, what makes people think I'm gonna end up like those guys that didn't have the experience and skills? Davis boasts an impressive record of 30 wins, with 28 coming by way of knockout. The only boxers to survive all 12 rounds with him are German Miraz, who faced Davis in 2014 during the latter's 9th professional outing, and Isaac Pitbull Cruz, whom Davis edged out in a decision victory in 2021. Following the fight with Cruz, it came to light that Davis had been battling a hand injury. While acknowledging Davis's strength, Roach has faith in his own abilities. Roach said, I think I got hit on my shit a couple times. Ain't nobody ever dropped me. Ain't nobody ever seen me hurt in no fight. A counter right hook that dropped Roach in his 2019 loss to Jermell Charlo was ruled a slip. The ref saw that my foot came up and I tripped. That's why he didn't call it a knockdown, Roach said. While praising his own qualities, Roach also admits that Davis has few shortcomings. Roach said, the ones that I do know, I'll try to exploit. It's not going to be easy. We all know that. He's a hell of a fighter. Tank has struggled to arrange major bouts against stars like Shakur Stevenson and Vasily Lomachenko, likely because all three boxers are tied to different promotional platforms. Tim Bradley, a former two-weight world champion, believes the Baltimore star is being shielded from top-tier competition. This is the Tank Protection Program, the 41-year-old told ESPN State of Boxing. He added, this has been going on a long time, people. They've been bringing fighters up from a lower weight class to get in there with Tank. Tank looks spectacular, but it's a cover-up. I'm gonna tell you right now, I think Tank is a good fighter. I don't know how great he is, but from the looks of it and the matches he's having, the dude looks like a total fraud. Put him in the ring with someone who can punch back. Somebody with a great IQ. Roach is on a remarkable 6-fight winning streak, following his only professional loss to Jermell Charlo. He claimed a victory by stopping Feargal McCrory in the 8th round this past June, and has received the green light from the WBA to take on Tank. In June, Davis delivered a spectacular 8th round stoppage against Frank Martin, and Bradley believes the 29-year-old could have taken on Edwin de Los Santos, who was narrowly defeated by Stevenson on points last November. He added, they're saying they didn't have an opponent for him. Yes, you do. You do have an opponent in your stable. His name is De Los Santos. We wouldn't mind, and the fans wouldn't mind paying for a De Los Santos fight, but they're covering something. I don't know what it is. Is it the power of De Los Santos that they're worried about? He further mentioned, you know the fact that he's a southpaw? Tank was doing a whole lot of talking when Shakur Stevenson put everybody to sleep with De Los Santos, but he won't step his behind in the ring and face a De Los Santos. That's the fight that everybody wants to see. No one's gonna pay for this pay-per-view. People are going to show up because it's Tank Davis, but those pay-per-view numbers that you're chasing, it's just going to be a wishing well. Moreover, WBO super lightweight title holder Teofimo Lopez recently threw some shade at WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis over his selection of opponents. Davis's decision to take on an opponent from a lower weight class, rather than facing elite competitors within his own division, raised eyebrows. This choice didn't sit well with Lopez, who voiced his frustration during an appearance on the YouTube podcast It Is What It Is. Lopez was questioned by the show's host, Mason Betha, also known as Mace, about whether he could defeat Davis in a fight. Lopez responded with assurance, "I think I dominate any of them," noting that most boxers, including Davis, had not advanced to the next level of their careers by taking on elite opponents if his resume and others were compared. There's that next criteria or that next top tier, and if you don't match that, you're never going to know how great you really are, Lopez said, claiming he has already done those things in his career thus far. Lopez added, "I have yet to see Gervonta come out of that box." It appeared that Lopez wasn't a huge supporter of Davis taking against Roach in a lesser weight class. Everybody put him with a guy at 130 pounds. Whether he's a champion or not, you getting a guy lighter than you to come up in weight to make you look good again. Lopez told Mason Betha. Not to be overlooked is the fact that Roach was scheduled to defend his championship against Albert Batargaziev, the interim WBA super featherweight champion. In a rare decision, the WBA has allowed Roach a special one-time opportunity to vie for the lightweight title. Should he pull off an unexpected victory, Roach will be faced with a pivotal choice: continue his journey in the lightweight division or revert to super featherweight. Conversely, if he falls short, he'll be compelled to confront his mandatory challenger next. In any case, Davis's most recent bout update appears to have started a heated argument with his bitter adversary. If you've somehow missed the news, Davis and Devin Haney aren't exactly on friendly terms these days. While they may have shared a camaraderie in the early stages of their careers, that bond has long since faded. Now, the two frequently engage in a war of words on social media. Just recently, after Davis's bout with Roach was revealed, Haney couldn't help but chuckle at Davis's expense. TalkSport editor Michael Benson shared the update with his followers on X, which saw Haney reacting to it with 5 faces with tears of joy emojis. This prompted Davis to respond to Haney's tweet by sharing a still from Haney's fight against Ryan Garcia, getting punched in the face. Davis wrote in the caption, "Nah, let's keep laughing. You face hate to see a left hook coming." So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.